Hi, class. We need to take a look at a couple of problems that are sentences or word problems, and they want us to solve by technically setting an equation. And before we start with the equation, let me actually declare the variable. And in this case, they're referring to a number. So I'm just going to say let x equal to a number. Now, the actual equation is going to be set as follows. And in this case, the word is going to give us the equal sign. So we could rewrite it as 45% of its multiplication. So of it's a multiplication of 200 is equal to what number? And then before we evaluate, let me express 45% as a percent. So in this case, 0.45 times the values of 200 is equal to x. And then let's actually punch it into the calculator. So in this case, 0.45 times the values of 200, it's going to give us 90. So for this one, 90 is equal to x. And let me just double check the answer. 0.45 times 200 is 90. And then since it's technically a word problem, a sentence is required. So in this case, we could actually say that 45% of 200 is 90. And that's actually it for this one. Main instructions are to provide some sort of an equation, and in this case, that's achieved in this step. That's it for this problem. Let's move on to B. And technically, it's a different problem, so I'm going to declare the variable again. So let x equal to a number, and the equation. So here is going to be the equal sign of, represents multiplication. So in this case, 80 is equal to 50% of x, or 80 is equal to 0.50 of x. And then we're going to be dividing by 0.50, divide by 0.50. So we're looking at 80 divided by 0.50 is equal to x. And let me evaluate that. So 80 divided by 0.50, 160. And let me rewrite it that 80 is 50% of 160. That's it for this problem. Let me double check the division. We're good on the division. Let's move on to problem C. And same setup. I'm just going to say let x equal to a number. And then once again, is your equal sign, of is your multiplication. So our equation. In this case, it's going to be x is equal to, and they're having 25%, so 25% of 80. Or x is equal to 0.25 of 80. And let me evaluate this. So 0.25 times 80, we're looking at 20. And then let me write it as a sentence. In this case, 20 is 25% of 80. That's it for problem C. Let's move on to D. Now, D is a little bit different because they want a percent. So let me just declare let x equal to 8%. And the equation, it's going to be x times 150 is equal to 90. Remember that we still follow the same process. S is the equal sign, of is the multiplication. So what percent of 150 is 90? And then at this point, we're going to be dividing by 150. So we're looking at x is equal to 90 divided by 150. And let's actually evaluate that. So 90 divided by 150, I'm getting at 0.60. Now, as a final answer, we're talking about a percent. So x is equal to 60%. So the decimal, I'm just multiplying it times 100, since technically x represents a percent. And then let me write it as a sentence. In this case, 90 is 60% of 150. And that's it for this problem. I'll put the rest of the problems in a different video. Actually, I think we're at the end of it. I'll check it. But that would be it for this video.